people have seen of women's sevens on tally anyway, from what you've seen of the Canadians and the English, certainly the standout teams. What are the skill sets that have impressed you the most, Ollie?
Watching the two games, particularly one in England where England just stole it from Australia, 12-10 in their last game.
Yeah.
Now, that was an incredible result. They right to the death. They dived over and drove them over the touchline, and it was everyone cheering and whooping and everything else because they just saved and got themselves to the final. So I think the thing that's impressed me the most about the ladies so far is how accurate their skill sets are. You know, how precise they are with passing. Yeah. And particularly from a Canadian perspective, their big speed lady, number 5, Lindsay. She's the sort of main go-to. Loads of pace. She's got more strapping on her than a mummy, to be fair. She's got dead legs and pulled hamstrings, but she's battling through and leading this side. And that she'll be a danger woman for the Canadians. And from an England perspective, Phyllis gone by. So
I think Sarah McKenna and Sarah Guest, the two Sarahs, are really crucial to this England team, keeping their shape and also getting a lot of go forward. And I think the English got to watch out for the Canadians. They're quite big ladies, to be fair. Yeah. And you saw in the semi-final how they muscled a lot of the Americans, but really put pressure on them. So the English got to first of all battle that, but then be creative. Everything else they do, it's just fantastic to watch this, and the skill set honestly is phenomenal, and it actually put a lot of men's rugby to shame. Some of the passes they make, and it just
and understand the coach at half time in that Australia game was saying, keep your depth, let's realign, push it to the width, focus on that breakdown, accuracy in the breakdown. And all these are key facets of the game. If you nail them, you're going to win tournaments, win matches, and that's great to see. And at the start of this tournament, these two teams were picked to be the two favourites, and it's great to see them in the final.
Indeed, it is. The players talk about it being like a home away from home from an English perspective, and both the men and the women are playing like it. The men, of course, in the cup final later on this afternoon. For now, it's the women's turn against Canada. Your commentators, Nigel Starmer-Smith and Scott Hastings.
So it's England in the marmalade colours, as my New Zealand friends like to call it. And this is a great charge at the start by Canada in the blue, black and white. And they have been unbeaten throughout this season. They've won tournaments in Hong Kong, in Amsterdam, Las Vegas. They haven't lost a game. But England will give them a real challenge here. Joanne Watmore, the tall, lean wing three-quarter, setting it up there. England in their 23, in their 22. And this is a good breakout here by Michaela Stanford, the one who's a top try scorer in the tournament here. And this is great support by England. And remember, of course, their counterparts are in the men's final as well. Joanne Watmore out of the England 19 squad. And good possession, good distribution and confidence here. Michaela Stanford, the link, going out wide here into the hands of Leanne Riley. Well, great start by England.
Oh, brilliant start, brilliant hands from England. Down towards the Canadian 22, but a little knock-on in the contact.
The Canada side, well, they met here, and several of them were involved in the Rugby World Cup sevens on this same stadium in 2009. And in the plate final, England beat Canada 12-0, but that's water under the bridge. This is a different squad, and an exciting occasion for both teams and for the game itself. So the first scrummage, and safely won and away by Cheryl Phillips. What an influence she was for Canada in the earlier rounds. Good tackle coming in there. I think it was Sarah McKenna. Oh, and a good break here with England away again, and this time it's Leanne Riley spun across the field. Good hands, good support. Sonia Green back into the hands now of Michaela Stanford, and Stanford sets it up and gets the penalty. I think it was Kyla Moleshi who didn't stay on her feet, and gathering up Sarah Guest. So good attacking opportunity here. Canada, an Indian file across the front and into the hands of Joanne Watmore. Watmore gets the handoff and scores. 2 tries against Australia. She was the heroine then, and now this youngster from the Worcester club, Joanne Watmore, gives England the lead.
Well, power and pace from Watmore. Watch this for a handoff. Absolutely superb. Up comes Maleshi. Brushed off. And it's power and pace. And England first on the scoreboard.
Delight. Tremendous play. Good build-up and very good hands. Good continuity. This is a fine conversion too, coming from Sarah McKenna. Well, she kicked only one earlier today. That was against Australia in the key semi-final, and that really was magnificent. So 7 points steep.
Well, that's rugby out the top drawer. What about that? He got the try, then the conversion from wide out. England in the lead, 7 points to 0.
Well, captivating the crowd here without doubt. Not an empty seat as the comeback comes with Cheryl Phillips. She's a tremendous pace, elusive runner. Nearly got away with the sidestep there. England back in defence, but on the rampage are Canada. They retain the possession still. Jennifer Kish sets it up just inside the England half. Scrambling away, Mandy Marchak. She's the captain of the Canadian side here. Ashley Stacey. Stacey goes. Oh, just knocked on. Just beyond the reach of Cheryl Phillips there. Well, two top teams in the world at the moment, and wonderful play from Stacey here. Midpoint of this first half, so it's a full 20 minutes, just as the men's final, which will be coming up just a little bit later after this. And they charged too soon in Canada, so England get the ball, and away by Joanne Watmore again into the hands of Abigail Chamberlain, another of the Richmond players, Richmond ladies. Pirouetting through the tackle there was Staniford. And good cover from Cheryl Phillips for Canada. But still England in possession. Good pick up again. That was Staniford again with skills. Oh, and here's the break. This, I think, it's Riley. Lovely cover back tackle there by Maleshi. And a tremendous pace. The fitness levels are transformed from some years back. In the game now being played.
Well, we talked an awful lot about the pace. The pace is right up there, isn't it? There's still the fitness being tested to the level. This is a final after all. What a stadium. What an atmosphere they're playing in front of. It's an inspiration.
50,000 here as the searchlights look down on this magnificent stadium right in the middle of the desert sands. It's like an oasis, and it's a most wonderful playing surface. And all credit to Emirates, who sponsor this Dubai Sevens and introduced this first ever inaugural Challenge Cup tournament for the IRB and organised this whole setup. So here come Canada now on the rebound, trailing by just the 7 points, and the flag is up on the far touchline. Just out of play there was Mandy Marchak.
Yeah, Mandy Marchak, she's a solid performer. Takes her place in the line-out, wearing the number 10 jersey as well. Jennifer Kish for Canada.
England take it well from the back of the line-out. Set away by Sarah Guest. Sarah Guest, the scrum half, another of the members of the Worcester Club, all went forward. So a little breather here for Canada. Chance of possession. John Tate on the touchline there with their performance in that crushing of USA in the semi-final. Cheryl Phillips always a threat, as you've seen in the earlier rounds. Now into the hands of Jennifer Kish. She's one of the quickest players. This is Ashley Stacey. Well, a different option here, covering back is Staniford, but nailed there. Now they've got to release the ball, it's hung on too long. And could this be a yellow card here for Staniford? It is indeed 2 minutes off. Well, she had perhaps almost no option in a way, but it's quite a penalty. 2 minutes doesn't sound long, but in a sevens game it can be an eternity. So it's 7 against 6. They surely have an overlap here. Cheryl Phillips scores, and they're back in a second. Canada score.
Well, a turning point in the game. England get the yellow card through Gareth Stanford, and Cheryl Phillips took advantage of that. England had to reset their defence quickly, but Canada were up. Just a quick tape, but did she actually just get a clean touchdown? It's all just about, not so much in control, it's just about downward pressure.
Yeah, it's down before that, but the ball rolled away, no problem. So it's 7 apiece with the conversion successful. We've got 1 minute to play of this first half, and what a pace this game has been from the start. So England will have to survive at least another full minute without the full complement, and the break up the middle. That was Sarah Guest again, and Sarah Guest puts the pass out wide here. The tackle comes in, just held on by Mandy Marchak. Set back though in turn by Leanne Riley. Leanne Riley, another youngster coming out of the England under-20s. She's at the Saracens club. And here a bit of time to wind down the clock whilst they're minus key player in Michaela Staniford on the naughty chair.
Well, Sarah Guest did well there, put England into a position, but England haven't benefited from that because they haven't found touch from the penalty.
Big mistake. Should have gone into touch, and then they could have had the... Oh, and it's bounced into the hands of Ghislaine.